You may wonder why I switched to layer milk. Well, I got hooked after my fitness trainer told me about the good stuff inside. You should try it.
Exercise and making good nutrition decisions like drinking calcium-enriched loyal milk every day is vital because it helps you nourish your bones and body so that you can live a more active life every day.
That's why I encourage my clients and ensure that my family gets their loyal milk too.
So, make that switch to calcium-fortified loyal milk because it's what's inside that matters.
Welcome back. What is your motive for doing all these things? Because I'm listening to you, lots of social good, but clearly a lot of money to be made as well. So what is your big driver? Is it the profit? Is it the ability to do social good? Why are you in this?
First of all, this is not my business. My sole business. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I have businesses in different sectors.
Tell me a little bit more about those businesses. It'll be interesting to hear.
Yeah, but this is as a serial entrepreneur, you have your hands in different aspects, from real estate to defense contracts to other kinds of things.
Defense contracts?
Hold on a second.
You train militants and then, no, hang on. You train militants who've put down their arms and then you sell guns?
No, not, when we say defense, you don't have to start selling guns. No, they're very far from that, right? We're training consultants. We build capacity. That's what we do, right? And so it has nothing to do with the trade of equipment, not at all. But
you don't train soldiers, do you?
Sorry?
Do you train soldiers?
Asking so many questions.
Yeah, well, yes. After you open the door.
This is from. this is a talk about the film industry, as it were. But yes, I have businesses in those spheres, in different spheres. But this is where my passion really is, because someone believed in me at a time in my life and saw that I had a skill set that could be used to change my sphere of authority at the time. And that opportunity was presented to me with little or nothing. And there is nobody today, Kadaria, that can talk to me about poverty, because I've experienced it in its crudest form. And so when you're coming from that kind of background...
a few times I've sort of read things about you in the national papers that sort of say that. But then nobody actually explains exactly what they mean by that. Tell us, let's use this opportunity to hear your story. When you say you've experienced poverty, tell me a little bit about your experiences.
I grew up in one of the remotest parts of Lagos, in Ajegule. And a family of 5 living in a room, but with people who had this strong penchant for life. We were happy, as it were, but we were confronted with all the realities of life. Having to feed on a meal a day sometimes, and having to hawk things on the streets, having to run and pursue cars to sell things on the streets. I know how to fold a wrap and put on your head and put tray and sell.
Is that to believe? Look at that.
I can tell you that very clearly. You know how you sell crayfish, where you put your hands on one like this and you know exactly how much this will cost? I've arranged that on trays and hawked on my head here in this Lagos. So everything that I've experienced in life was by grace. And I realized that very early in life. But I had parents who believed so much in me and their kids as well. And so with the little resources that they had, pushed every possible way they could to ensure that I went to school. Right? And even though it was difficult to go to school at the time, because of how much they believed in that, I was able to get support to get into school. So all of that I saw. And as I was moving ahead, I had this very clear-cut idea in my head, because I went to a school, I was sponsored to go in, it was a military school, and I happened to be one of the very few folks who had civilian parents to attend the school. And it was a rare privilege for me to have attended that school in Abeokuta. And it's a boarding house, fully militarized, I learned pretty much everything I needed to learn about life there, you know. And as a result of that, when I was entering into life, and I think it's an advice to a lot of folks who have, families who are rich, who have a lot of money. You let your kids go through life, not life through the eye of an American, right? But see things for themselves. Because that helped me understand what it is for a young filmmaker to want to get into the business of filmmaking and how you need to support those people. And my house, I was just passing the gate one day and I saw my gate man. I observed that he was running 2 shifts for like 4 to 5 days. It didn't make sense to me. So I called him one day. I said, Musa, what are you doing here? Why are you running 2 shifts? And he said to me, Oga, I'm sorry, I'm saving up. I want to produce my music video. I said, Musa, music video, how is that possible? Music video. So I said, I want to see this music video. So I took his phone, I looked at it, and to my amazement, this guy, who receives the pittance from the major security company that hired them, was saving up money to build his own studio. I never knew about that until I asked that question. And I saw what this guy did. I was in shock. I called the security company and I said, this guy is entering my academy. He came into the school program. And as I'm speaking to you, his own life is a testimony to what it is for you to believe in someone. So my point is, this is the story of Nigeria as well. A lot of our folks do not see the direct connect between what they do, for example, in National Assembly, and how it affects that guy somewhere in Mushin. Because if you see the connect, you will find out how important it is for you to invest in just one person, and how that could change the lives of millions of people who roam around our streets without jobs.
And so the question I asked a few minutes ago, which was like, what is the major driver? Is it the money or is it the social good? And you seem to have answered it very effectively, because for you it's about touching people's lives and everything. I'm interested in finding out, your parents, are they alive to watch you, attain these heights after, pushing you the way that they have?
Very much so. I mean, they invested in me, and so they're reaping benefits one way or the other.
They're kicking back, relaxing, and enjoying themselves.
They're very happy, I believe, and I believe it could also be better. And I also believe that what gives them a lot more joy is attending some of the graduation programs and hearing the stories from these students. Hear them talk about, things that has happened in their lives. The kind of projects they're involved in. And you are the academy to see the projects that these guys actually worked on in 4 weeks. All the kind of reports we'll be getting all across the country has been phenomenal. How were these people able to produce this short film project in just 4 weeks? It's an amazing accomplishment, and that's what gives us joy.
And so, very successful journey for you, hard work, parents who are very focused and decided that there was something in you they want to push. And now married to perhaps one of the biggest stars in Nigeria today, your wife, big superstar. What is that like, being married to someone like Stephanie and, being the husband to a woman that I'm sure a lot of women, and certainly many, many men, look at on the screen and go sort of, wow.
Well, I mean, I don't see it like that.
Okay.
You
did meet her a star, didn't you, though? When you guys met, she was already in Hollywood acting and making a name for herself.
Yes, actually, I met her first when there was a Middle Eastern company that wanted a celebrity face, as a brand endorser for their brand. And she fit the profile, and that was how the conversation started. But more than anything else is the fact that we became friends. And much more than that, I discovered a side about her that was not obvious to the eye. You know, and I used to pride myself as having a discerning spirit, and I would almost have sworn that my person would not have, it would not have been, how do I put it? I never planned to get married to someone who was in the eye of the public like that.
Who was visible.
Yes, because I know the kinds of issues you'd have to face dealing with celebrity issues and all of that. But it's gone beyond that. She has a very strong passion for her work, for God, and she at home it's a different ballgame. It's not Stephanie on screen, totally different. And it's been a beautiful story thus far.
Well, you seem really, really happy. Thank you so much for being a guest on Straight Talk. You've been watching Straight Talk with me, Kadaria Ahmed. My guest was Mr. Linus Idahosa, the founder and CEO of Del York Academy. We discussed the art and business of filmmaking and doing good while making money. Join me next week when I'll be in conversation with another special guest. Have a good evening.